Hey! Today I'm going to go through an A to Z, but this time with a little bit of a twist. This one is going to be about movies. Emily came up with this idea, so credit where credit is due. The first one in this list, A, is also my favourite film of all time, American History X. Edward Norton is an incredible actor, definitely one of my favourite actors. If you've seen this film, the bit that really gets me is biting the curb. It makes me cringe. Plus it has Fairuza Balk in it, who is incredible. B, Battle Royale. For anybody that's watched, why do I keep forgetting it? This is ridiculous. Hunger Games. Don't know why I couldn't remember the name Hunger Games, but for anybody that has watched Hunger Games, Battle Royale was the original, but a little bit more for a mature audience. Anyone that was a fan of Ryan Philippe, or however you pronounce it, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, who star in Cruel Intentions. I love this film because it begins with a placebo song. And of course I'm going to love it if it does. Devil's Rejects is my letter D. Emily and I had the fortune of meeting Bill Moseley and Ken Forey at HorrorCon a couple of years ago now. They are such lovely guys. That is such an horrific film. For E, we're going to go back to 1995 to a film called Empire Records, which has Liz Hurley and Renee Zellweger in it. It's one of those 90s films where nothing really happens, but everybody has a great time and a lesson is learned. For F, we have Fifth Element. Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich at their finest. Now I think the next one is the only one on this list which is a Disney film. It's a Goofy movie. I'm a massive fan of Goofy, he's incredible, and Max is probably my favourite Disney character, bar Goofy. Another one from 1995, H is for Hackers. I'd like to thank my friend Jamie for recommending this to me. I'm so glad he did. We've got Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie when they were very, very young. Obviously it was 1995, so damn, that was 20 years ago now. Oh, and Matthew Lillard. For any of you who don't know who he is, you might know him from the Scooby-Doo film. He plays Shaggy. I've kind of cheated here. I've gone for two films, both of them Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The first one being black and white, and the second one being in colour. And they have completely different endings to them, both of which are just so good. J is for Josie and the Pussycats. I'm your backdoor lover, coming from behind, oh yeah. I don't know if any of you have heard of the band Powder. They were the ones that taught them how to play the instruments in the film. K is for Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's just a Japanese spoof, but it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. The scene with the ninja cow and the Matrix moment just make it. L is kind of a cheesy one. I've gone for the iconic Labyrinth. Now we all miss Bowie, but he was such a good actor in that film. His dress sense was just so good. M is for Madhouse, which is about an insane asylum with a guy that looks very much like Edward Norton. To me, anyway. I don't know if he does to you. Have a look, this is him. One of those films with a twist, but now that I've told you that, there's no point in seeing it because you'll probably guess it by the end of it anyway. N is for Not Another Teen Movie, which I must have seen about 50 odd times.
The main thing, you got to go out there, believe in the ball, and throw yourself. You can do it.
I was really struggling with a film for O, but I had to go back to my high school days and recommend John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. This is a remake, but it's done so well. Let's see, who was it? Oh, it was John Malkovich. John Malkovich plays Lenny. P is for Kirsten Stewart and Jodie Foster's Panic Room. I didn't realise that was Jared Leto in it. Must have been the first film that I saw with Jared Leto, but Forrest Whitaker is brilliant. Q, another one that I was having trouble trying to find a film for. Q, I've chosen Quarantine, which is a remake of the film Wreck, which I think was a Spanish film with subtitles, which is still very good, but apparently Quarantine takes it scene for scene, and I think they've like Wreck 2 as well. Not seen that. Don't think they've done a Quarantine 2 though. R is for The Rock. Another major favourite actor of mine is Nicolas Cage. He's an incredibly overacting character and I just love that about him. He is genuinely crazy. But in Con Air he was so good. Oh yeah, The Rock's got Sean Connery in as well, who's absolutely hilarious in that film, especially at the beginning when he hangs that Guy Over the Ledge. S is for Shaun of the Dead. I really loved Space when I first saw it, and when Simon Pegg started bringing out films, each one was so good. I love the callbacks in it, the plot holes, how he fills them in and everything. Simon Pegg is just such an amazing director and writer. T is for That Darn Cat with Christina Ricci and Dougie Doug. So good they named him twice. U is for Underworld. I'm really big into, well, I wouldn't say I'm really big, but I'm partial to a good old vampire and werewolf film. In fact, we just watched What We Do in the Shadows. But Underworld, the original one, I really liked it, and now I think they're bringing out a 5th one soon as well. I think there will be 5 of them. W, I was a bit apprehensive of choosing this one because Mel Gibson's a bit of a twat now, but I really liked him back in the day when he did What Women Want. It's a good film, it's a very good film, but now he's just an arsehole. X, now there's only one line of films I could think would begin with X. I had to think really hard about which one of the films I like the best. Now I was going to go for the first one, but I've seen the first 3 far too many times, so I've chosen Days of Future Past, which is really good because it kind of goes back and you see each character much younger and learn to deal with their teenage angst. Now it feels like not that long ago that Emily and I watched this. She's really good at picking out horror films. Your Next is about a home invasion that goes kind of right and wrong depending on which side you look at it. It's one of those horror films that's funny without meaning to be. And Z or Z, I had to choose something zombie related to this whole thing, Zombieland. Breaking the Fourth Wall is pretty much a winner in my book, like Deadpool. Plus, again, one of my favourite actors, Woody Harrelson. I've loved him since the Cheers days. Yeah, I think I've covered myself pretty well there, going from action, horror, comedy, and animation. If you can recommend any films to me, go ahead, do it below. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I've educated you somewhat, and now it's time for you to educate me. Go on, tell me how crap the films I've recommended are. See you later, guys. Bye.